This week's episode is sponsored by Helio Gas Detection.
Resurrected from the spoken past. 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Tear down these walls inside. I will not crumble, I will not fall. These scars will not define me.
Hey everybody, this is Rich from the Metal Cell podcast. I'm delighted to welcome Shadows Calling to the studio. I've got Jen, Darren and Scott. How are we, lads?
Great, thank you.
Yourself?
Great, lads. Thanks a million for... Yeah, what a beautiful evening and all. Like,
Unreal.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And we were just on about Terrace before we started tonight, and they found the place no problem, so he did as well.
Yeah.
So
We did, yeah.
that was great.
Google Maps is
Yeah.
only for that we could be anywhere.
And for those that are listening, Darren is fronting Perish the Thought t-shirt as well, which is respect, you know. Cool.
Absolutely.
Big shout out to the lads and a fellow Cork band. Similar enough to yourselves, I would say, in relation to kind of the music side of things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
You know,
probably, yeah.
yeah,
It
so-
might be a small bit heavier.
It might be a small bit
Yeah,
heavier,
yeah,
yeah. But that's something we'll be discussing as well,
Yeah.
kind of the direction you're going to be going in the next maybe few months, because you've been very quiet at the moment so
Yeah.
far. Anyway, I was just kind of checking your socials lately. I was thinking, Jesus, what are they up to? So maybe you might have some updates on that. It'd be welcome.
Like a lion in the long grass.
But I mean, like, you had some year last year, like for
We did,
gigs,
yeah.
it was fantastic.
We did,
You
yeah.
really got the word out, like, which
Yeah.
is brilliant, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that as well. But we'll start at the very start, Darren. So
Yeah.
what happened to you during COVID, bud? You got this
I got
inspiration.
an inspiration during COVID. I said, fuck it, you know what? I'm going to try and write original music.
You're the vision
I said,
girl.
I'm going to try
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I said to the sister, I'm thinking of doing a bit of original music. And she said, you don't write music. I said, I'm going to
Yeah.
try, anyway. I
Okay.
said, so, yeah, I just took off from there.
Right,
So
yeah.
then I had a few bits written, few bits wrote, like. And then I said, no. I said to Jen, there's no other singer going to be from
Okay,
the band,
okay.
only you. I said,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
whether you
yeah.
like it or not, you're doing this.
And do you know when you were composing?
Yeah, I didn't even get a choice. It was, and I was really busy because at the time I was in 3 other bands, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow, okay,
yeah.
fair
So I was
enough,
like,
fair enough.
I said, I remember saying to my mum, I actually don't have the time
Right.
to do this.
And are you, what's the dynamic between you? Who's the older one?
I'm older, me
Older,
older.
okay, so
Yeah,
the
yeah.
We're
big
the
brother,
Irish twins.
big
Big
bro,
brother, yeah.
was calling
Big
on you,
bro.
like.
Yeah. So because we always got on so well, we've been like best buds since we were little.
fantastic,
Do you know, so
yeah.
it was just something I was like, right, I have to do it.
So, like,
Yeah.
when you saw Darren's stuff, then what had you on? Darren had you.
It was
I was only on my
originally-
phone.
Ah, no,
And
you're
it was a
serious?
guitar.
Didn't
It was a
even have
guitar
laptop. I sent her a few bits
on guitar.
of riffs that I had wrote, like.
Okay.
And she was saying, Jesus Christ. She said, did you actually do that?
Okay.
I said, yeah. Because, like, I would have been always kind of playing bits and pieces of guitar, like, but not very good, you know.
And
like,
never
kinda-
played in cover bands or nothing
No,
like
No,
that?
it's-
I
and I
had a
was, you see.
two-piece.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
right,
played in a
okay.
two-piece.
Okay,
with
fair
another-
enough.
With another girl.
So you knew your way
for
around the
2 years.
guitar
Yeah,
then?
I did, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's okay, yeah.
Yeah, but COVID came and just kind of knuckled down with it.
Yeah.
So then it was kind of just find other musicians that wanted to the same venture. Like.
Okay.
So I reached out to Scott in on, I think it was Ben Mix, was it Scott?
Yeah,
I think it was Ben Mix. I heard his stuff, Reverend Green.
Right.
Goes
Oh,
to
Reverend.
jail.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I heard that
Okay.
stuff and I
Okay.
said, Jesus, yeah, that's tasty stuff. Like, I loved the guitar music. Like, so I took a pop and sent Scott a message and sent him off a bit of music. Like,
And the phone still
Yeah.
at this stage.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
said about the singer because we had nothing with Jen on vocal. So there was a video of Inhale the Fall, which was Weak from Skunk and Etsy.
Oh yeah.
And Jen
great
did the
song,
cover of that. So I
actually.
sent it to
Yeah,
Scott
yeah,
and said, this
yeah,
is who's
yeah.
going to be fronting the band.
Okay. Okay.
So he said, yeah, we'll give it a go. And
And
the rest is
And,
history.
and Scott, like in your relationship with kind of music, had you come across Jen before? or-
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Had you?
Yeah, when we were playing with, when I was playing with Reverend Green Goes to Jail, or singer at the time, Valentina, certainly knew of Jen and certainly knew Inhale the Fall, and I think she knew Pavel as well
Okay.
in the band.
Yeah, because
So
Cork is
I
such
hadn't
a small scene. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'd be
And-
surprised if one of you haven't
Yeah,
intersected
and I think you
before
were
that.
doing quite well just at the time. We were after losing a few members, and we were kind kind of looking for replacements and stuff. So we weren't active at the time, but
Okay.
she certainly knew of you, and she you know, she'd often said, "Oh, she's a fabulous singer." But we'd never seen you. But I recognised the name, you see,
Okay.
and I knew it was Pavel's band
Yeah,
then. So I said, "Yeah, we'll check it out."
Right.
But I'd almost given up at that stage because we had kind of stopped doing anything at that stage, and I'd found it very, very, very difficult to find people doing kind of heavy rock or grungy rock.
Yeah.
You know, and I had this profile up there on Band Mix, which is a useful way, but you know, to find other musicians, but it just wasn't
And
working.
what do you enjoy more, Scott? Is it just playing live in general, or is it just the whole aspect of being in a band, recording and playing?
Writing and playing live.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Writing with other people and playing
Okay.
live. So I was delighted when someone finally reached out, and you know, you could see then that Darren could write really good music. So I was like, yeah, this will definitely work, because as I said, I'd almost given up.
Yeah.
There's not much more you can do. You know, you're putting your poster up places, you're putting the name up there, you're putting the stuff up there. And then when he sent me the clip of Jen, I said, right, this is game on. So, because if you have a strong vocalist,
absolutely,
you can do anything.
Yeah. So, always an issue around the country is drummers, and you got one of the finest in Cork, I would say.
And the funniest.
Barry is a legend,
He's a
like, you know,
legend.
but what a
Legend.
fucking drummer,
Legend.
though.
Yeah.
Like.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant.
Jesus. So how did you twist his arm?
Myself and Barry have been buddies for years
fair
and
enough.
years and years
Fair
and
enough.
years. And we had never played together. We'd done little sessions together, and Barry's actually played guitar in an acoustic gig and stuff with me, because he's a multi-instrumentalist. There's nothing he can't play, really. So when we got this going, I was saying, look, dude, have you got any time at all? This could be a really strong band. Wait till you hear the singer. Barry's into rock, grunge. Obviously, he's a superb metal drummer.
Yeah.
You know, but he likes a lot of old school rock as well.
Okay.
And he said, look, I'll give it a go. I don't know how much I can commit. And lucky for us, he was really into it.
What songs
He's
had you at that stage, Darren? Had you around 3 or 4?
I'd say
We had 3 or 4, yeah. We
Okay.
had
But
3 or 4,
I'd
yeah.
say ones that people haven't even heard yet.
We have, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say we
yeah,
started off
yeah.
doing songs that we haven't played live yet.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
we
we
had
had
been
Blacked
interesting.
Out at that stage.
We had,
Did we have that?
Blacked Out,
I remember
Okay.
jamming on
We had
Evil's
Blacked Out,
Inside
and
as well.
Evil's Inside, yeah.
Yeah.
Evil's Inside hasn't seen the light of day yet.
Yeah.
We have nobody has seen that one.
No,
and that
no,
is-
no.
that
So
is
like
a-
you hadn't a razor or anything like that at that stage?
No, not at that
Jesus.
stage. No.
That's interesting.
No.
No.
The first song lyrically that I wrote for the band, we'd say, was Spirit Shifter.
Oh,
Yeah.
class.
That
Okay.
was the first song,
Right.
lyrically, like.
Yeah. Jesus,
And
that's
I
interesting.
just went from there. Then Scott came with a razor, then like, and
Right.
Mm.
So like you, what was the plan then as such? Like, were you always gonna do what you did, or were you actually going to tour a bit, or like, because the scene is like, if you're out of the scene and coming
Yeah.
back into it, it's kind of ever changing, I would say.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of, you know, there was sludge, now there's metalcore,
Yeah.
and where to
Yeah.
find your
We
own
were-
niche, like.
we were never going to be the band that was going to be out every 2 and 3 weeks, like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think any of us had the interest in going out every 2 or
Yes.
3 weeks.
Okay, fair
Maybe
enough.
5 or 6 gigs in the round of the year.
Maybe 15 years ago, like.
yeah.
Well, you see,
Five or
yeah,
six.
I gig in 2 different bands as well, you see, so I'm kind of busy as well. So
Yeah,
like it's
fair
kind
enough,
of all.
yeah.
So I think we came together with no intention of where it's after going.
Yeah,
was
that's
not,
what I'm trying
was
to
not
get
the
to. Yeah.
intention.
But it suited everyone then. 5-6 gigs
Yeah.
in the round of the year.
Okay.
Suited everyone.
Okay.
It suits us
Because
all.
everyone's
Everyone's
working,
on-
and Jenny's
Yeah.
a working musician, so you know people
Yeah.
only have so much time. Barry's
Yeah,
in a couple
yeah,
of other
yeah,
bands,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so this is the perfect arrangement.
So, like,
then.
we'll say, in your own heads, what was the gig then that you suddenly all looked at each other and went, "Fucking hell"? Can you
In the pit,
was
I
there
think,
any
is it? The first
particular one where you
My
went?
one was the first in the pit we did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Same.
We opened in the pit,
right.
and like the sound, everything, and
Yeah.
just the feedback we got out of it was
Yeah.
just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay,
was
Unbelievable.
and when was that?
That was in 2023, the
23?
first one.
Oh yeah, because you
The
played
first one
it
in the- it
last
was in
year.
the-
then.
in the Grand
Or
Social.
Was it this year? It was this year.
This year,
still,
yeah.
Nice
In
to
the Grand
get
Social,
invited
and
back.
like
Yeah.
it just went down a storm, like.
Okay.
Just went down a storm, like we got massive feedback out of it, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff, and the boys in Dublin, on fairness, some really took us under their wing that after that,
Oh, they
like, you
did.
know,
Oh,
even
there's-
before us,
Yeah.
even before us, you know, they really,
It has to be said
supported
that
us, like.
the Dublin crowd up there, incredible.
Unbelievable.
The support that they've shown from day one.
Yeah, which is great for a
Incredible.
Cork
Yeah,
band.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there is
Yeah.
always a bit of banter.
yeah.
There'll still be that. but
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But as musicians and stuff, and the way they welcome us up there, we just want to gig up there all the time.
Fantastic.
They're fab.
Brilliant,
Yeah,
yeah.
fab.
They're
So,
fab.
Scott, have you a different one?
I think I knew early doors. I had been in bands before, and not all of them got off to a good start.
Okay.
I could just tell straight away that Jen is a super pro. I knew I could play with Darren. His sense of rhythm is fabulous. I knew Barry Tran.
Yeah.
And once Mike walked in the door,
yeah,
you know,
Jesus.
so I it's not saying I knew
like
straight away as a cheesy answer. I knew there wasn't much to be worried about.
Yes.
You know, it's
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
But like that, I did get a bit of a shock at the Dublin gigs as well. Because when you're in a big venue with a powerful sound system behind you and the sound is set up right and the crowd are genuinely pleased to see you as opposed to, all right, lads, let's see what you've got. This kind of thing. Everyone's having a good time. It was fab, wasn't it?
Fantastic.
And we did a gig. We actually did a gig in Dublin again, and it was actually the same day as AC/DC were playing in Cork Park.
Oh, yeah. That was
In Fibber McGee's.
Okay.
And we said, oh, geez, there'll be no one at this now, like, you know, the place. And the place was rammed.
Yeah, Jesus,
The place
great.
was rammed.
Great
It
stuff.
was actually, what's the names asked us up to do a gig with them was Broken Habit.
Oh, right, okay, the
Broken Habit
lads,
acted up,
yeah. Very good.
Yeah, so, and that's when we said, geez, there'll be no one here tonight now because AC/DC, do you know?
Yeah, of course,
you know,
yeah,
the place was
Jesus, there you
rammed.
go. Like,
Rammed. And went down a storm as well again, like.
the first time I saw ye was supporting the Grief.
That's right, in Fred's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a nice gig too.
And myself and Steve, we were, Steve, the singer with the Grief, we were standing back watching Jen sing.
Yeah.
And I was looking at Steve and he was just like so into it. And I was going, fucking hell, what a voice, you know. I goes to Steve, you have to follow that, you know that? And he goes,
Yeah, but
I'm so stressed, he goes.
but that happens to me a lot, like from other singers, like others, you know, and that puts me, I think, in a position where I'd hate somebody in the crowd that has to go up after me to feel that way.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I'd
okay.
hate
And
that.
that's just the same way for you
For
also,
me,
is it?
I enjoy people singing. They don't
Yeah.
have to be powerful or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoy loads of voices, and I hate for someone to feel
Yeah.
insecure. if
Well,
I
sure,
was
look,
singing.
you're doing your job,
I
you know what I
know,
mean?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
And when there's a different style, I think
there is 100%.
Yes,
that
I
helps
think
then
any-
as well. Whereas
yeah.
if it's too strong
Yes.
vocalists, it's battle of the
Yeah.
vocalists.
But I don't know with anyone though. Like even like when I've come across other female vocalists or bass players, the love and support in this scene for everyone.
That's good to hear.
Huge.
Yeah. Great.
Huge. There is no like, oh, she's better or he's better.
Yeah.
It's just
Everyone
awesome.
backs each other up.
Everyone
Like,
Yeah,
has
you
support.
can, like it is, and you know I'm doing this for the last 6 years, and I keep saying it. Like we have one of the best scenes around, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, definitely.
and,
Definitely.
you know,
Like even
And
when we
there's
go,
so many good bands.
there is 100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The Irish scene is
But
flooded
like,
with good
if you
bands,
think
like.
about it though, like for your style and your delivery, Jane, there's not many.
No.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think you're a perfect act, not only to headline, but like on a festival bill when everybody's tired of death metal and trash.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because it does. You
Yeah.
do genuinely
Bit of
kind
a
of
cool
go,
down.
I've seen all this before, and then Shadows Calling. Okay, I've never seen them before, and
Yeah.
you'll go and watch them, and then. Wow, you can. I think there's a lot of that with you, that a lot of people, neutrals, got converted. You know, you won them over, which
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love seeing that.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
we're like the opposite end of the scale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, even for playing metal festivals,
Yes.
we're the opposite end of the scale. But
Yeah.
like you're saying, like it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can still go down good, like.
Oh, but this is it. Like
Yeah.
this is the neutral you're grabbing there, and you know, it's a testament to how well you went down. Last year was a huge year for you. You know, like it seemed to me that you were almost playing once a month, definitely almost at one stage. Like
Yeah.
you know, and like. Would you say a razor helped in a big way? The
Oh, the
video, and the whole lot?
absolutely.
we have been
absolutely.
talking about it. Like we'd love
Absolutely.
to do another video.
Okay,
I think
fair
another
enough.
video has to be done.
And that'd be Epic Productions again, maybe, because they did such a good
I'd
job.
love,
did a
I'd love
fabulous
to
job.
do.
Yeah,
I'd
they
love
did-
to
they
use
did-
them
they did a
again.
great job, like.
They're
Yeah.
super.
Yeah.
But like that again,
Yeah.
it comes down to money and.
Of course,
No,
Yeah.
it's,
Of
it's,
course.
it's not cheap. Like
no,
these
no.
things aren't cheap. Like, but
If we didn't have mortgages and have to pay such
Yeah.
astronomical prices on our food
There'll be
bill,
a video for every song.
we might be all right. We
I've some
could make
great
a video.
ideas.
You know?
But yeah, definitely the video pushed us
Yeah.
big time. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I think, yeah. We
You
need to
it.
definitely do that again. It's just
Yeah, and
getting
look,
funds together.
It is.
Well, I think
that's
that song-
Preferably
I think-
somewhere
I think-
warmer as well.
I think that song in
Yes.
general pushed us big time.
yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, I
it's a
think
great
it pushed
song.
when
Anyway.
Scott wrote that song, like, but I remember when I heard it, I was saying, "Fucking hell,
Yeah,
this is magic!" Like,
yeah,
do you know,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is a great song to have on a set. Like,
yeah. And now you know, again, he's stuck with a Cork person for to produce it, and
Yeah.
Jesus, John, like
Floss,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
Floss
yeah,
from
yeah.
Rune.
yeah,
I mean, great guy, passionate,
Yeah.
been around the scene for fucking
The
years.
sound is dude ever.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's a
Do whatever.
lovely environment to go and record.
I've never seen it. He's only always been in the back. It's always in the background when I'm talking.
He was
on Zoom,
fabulous.
you know.
He was a fabulous place down there, like, and he's just so he's easy going, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the
if you
bloopers.
fuck up, and just go back again and do it again, you know.
Yeah.
It's like everything. Like, I'd be playing away grand. Next thing, the red light comes on. Shit.
Red light.
Lose all skills, going straight out the window.
Yeah, I find recording very difficult.
Oh, okay, that's
very
fair enough.
difficult because
That's fair enough.
I think I sing better live than what I do recording, because when you're recording, I'm always giving out to John about this. He'll know, like, I'm standing like this and the things.
You're in a sterile environment as well,
I have to stay
though.
this way, and I can't move, and I move a lot on stage. Or if I knew there was a high note coming, I'd often look at Scott or someone. Oh God, here we go. I'd almost bend into the vocal to get it to come out the right way. But when you're in a studio,
see, like
you don't have the adrenaline going behind you either. Like,
that's interesting, because
so I'm not a
you
fan.
You answered a question for me there, because I wasn't sure if you recorded that live, as in all of you at the one time in John's, you know, playing live. Would that have suited you better, you think, or have you done that before?
I haven't done it before, but if I didn't realise it could be done that way, so now I'm going to give John an extra hard time if it can be done that way. I'm like, hey, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's just, I find that even when I'm gigging live, I can go higher and more powerful.
Okay.
When I'm singing live.
That makes sense, though, doesn't it? Because it's emotion.
That's the thing. That's what comes into it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
You have adrenaline and everything.
Yeah,
Of course, No, you could go off the fucking scale as well. Like,
But even
even
if I could take the mic off thingy and get down with it and stuff, but you can't, so I find recording tough.
And was that the first time you were in a studio proper, Darren?
Yeah.
And how did you find
First
that?
time, loved it.
Okay,
Loved
Jesus
it.
Christ.
I was nervous going there because I didn't know what to expect. I was going to say, geez, if I get things wrong here, I'd be holding up everyone else. And But John was just so easy to. Oh my God, I can't say good enough things about John.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great to hear.
To be fair, like,
because everybody's different, or everybody's experience is different in the studio. You know, especially if you've got a really uber professional engineer, he might be so fucking kind to you. You know what I mean?
But no, you couldn't.
And he's got every type of tea that you could want. It's better than Lidl or Aldi. There's every brand. There's everything.
Yeah.
And he got a great sound as well for us.
That's what I'm going to say to you. Yeah,
he
he
had a
had
great sound
fucking
for us
brilliant
as well.
sound.
No, we kind of knew what sound we wanted to go with ourselves.
Yeah.
But he kind of just said, like, just tell me what kind of sound you want, and you know.
Okay.
He gets it, doesn't
he?
He
does. Yeah, he just gets it. Like,
you know, he's an expert himself. You can hear the quality in his own music. So when you tell him I want it to sound something like this, and he nails the sound, you know, you might think you're picking, and you're like, oh yeah, that's exactly it. Nice one. And he's like, yeah, of course it is.
Did you have to use any of his guitars, Scott?
I used my own guitar, but I used his amps. He's got some sweet amps and some sweet little pedals and some magic dust, magic.
Yeah,
Which
is what you want.
He knows how to sweeten the sound, and he's a super producer. But you know, that's all cool. But the biggest thing is there's just a really nice environment there. And he kind of knew he suits us.
He does, yeah.
You know, that kind of a way, and that's what you're looking for, actually.
It is.
Yeah, and he'd often tell me as well, if there was something that I do, he'd actually come up with some suggestion.
Yes.
He would, yeah.
Jen, if you go down and try it that way. I'm like, oh yeah, or even a harmony or something, because I do my own harmony. I sing my own harmonies on it as well. But like, he's great for that kind of thing as well, for ideas to throw at you. You know? I
suppose himself and Barry had a great chat about death metal and everything like that.
Oh God, yeah.
Getting Mike into the band, you know, for those that don't know Mike, you probably check out Magnapina. Really, that's he's probably well known for until he came along now. Like, you know, but was that through you, Jen, or?
No,
what it was
he
Mike bought a drum kit off
my husband,
Jen's husband.
Yeah, my husband's a drummer.
And I said, and she had said to me, he's a bass player.
Yeah.
I said, Jesus Christ, why didn't you ask him? Would he be interested in Shadow's Call?
Yeah, and what happened?
She rang him back then.
Yeah, he came into the house, to my house, me and my husband's house, to buy the drum kit, and I was wearing a Slayer t-shirt.
Yeah,
and we were just chatting away, and then he says to me, do you like heavy music? I was like, I'd be partial to it, all right. So we started a chat, and then he said he was doing originals. We thought nothing more of it, and then you came to me with this stuff, and I thought, that he was a bass player. So I got my husband to get his number, and
she jumped in. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So looking at the first EP, Spirit Shifter, again, she's like, you were hitting all the right boxes. Colin Bulger then with the artwork.
Yeah,
fantastic artist. I'm fronting Shadows Calling, Lighthouse is amazing as well, actually. Working with Colin, dreaming.
Dream.
Yeah.
I gave Colin asked me to send him 2 or 3 songs.
Okay.
I didn't even say what I wanted artwork wise.
Yeah.
I just gave it to him and see what he come up with. Yeah. And gave him Ships and D-Scales, and within 2 songs he had the idea straight away. Like.
Yeah. Class.
He had Fire on the Water, what was like the chaos.
Yeah.
And that the Lighthouse thing was the hope. Like.
Yeah.
You know, and
fantastic.
I said absolutely brilliant.
It's great,
I sent the Imogen to Scott, and Scott said definitely.
So much talent,
Definitely.
so talented.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And again, like that, when someone gets you, it's easy.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's not
and there was
the norm,
no going back. There was no.
Like so many bands get bogged down in artwork, lads.
I would say, like, you know, there was no back and forward of saying I want to change this, I want to do this. Yeah. He just got it. Hit the nail in the head straight away, like straight
fantastic.
away.
And then Marco then to mix.
Marco Towland,
yeah.
Of the Crown.
He's done someone from Ireland before. How do I know?
I don't know.
It's bugging me. I meant to research that, but I don't know. How'd you come up with?
Through John, through Floss.
Might have been
maybe Faroon, yeah.
Could have been Faroon.
Yeah, could have been
Faroon.
Probably would have been.
It's either that or the Grief, one or the other.
Anyway. John put us onto him.
Yeah. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, again, just the difference a mix and master will make. It just lifts it.
It lifts the whole thing. Like.
Yeah. Now, one other thing that one other question about that EP is, and wouldn't surprise me if it was almost an album and you just split it in 2. Would that be close to the bone?
We discussed that at rehearsals one night.
Yeah,
we
so close together as
okay.
well.
We have so many songs.
Yeah.
We have so many songs that people have never heard that we could make how many albums at this point?
Make a good few anyway.
Yeah.
We've loads.
Yeah.
We've loads of material.
Yeah.
And I think, why do we do an EP and not a full album?
It's a clever one. I think it's a clever
see if
call.
like,
I think
Just
get the music out there. Like,
get it out there.
100%.
Yeah.
So did you do another session then with John after that? Is it, or did you just kind of go in with 8 songs and then just?
We did them separately.
We did separately.
Okay.
The year after again, we went back in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was wondering. I thought, did you just do the whole lot together?
No. We went back down to John the year after again.
Right.
To record the second EP.
Yeah, we were trying to book in for this year for summertime as well, weren't we?
We'll have no music this year again.
There's another one coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
And John gave us some good advice on that too.
Oh, he did,
You know, because we'd said, you know, we'd all love to do an album.
Yeah.
There's an awful lot of work in an album, and momentum is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And if you can go in and belt out 4 good songs and then go back in a year later and belt out 4 good songs, you're doing quite well.
Yes.
And we did it.
And that's what people kind of do these days.
And it's kind of you're getting music out there all the time.
All the time.
You are. That's spot on. And I mean, I would hate, you know, for if you did bring out that album, say some songs could have been overlooked or missed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know the environment that we're in now.
You kind of listen to them then.
You will, of course, 100%. You know,
true.
like particularly the last and the second one, These Scars, Jen, unbelievable vocal delivery on that. It's fantastic. I love that. That's one of my favourites.
Do you remember that high note?
Yeah.
Do you remember when I hit that note? Like, I was rehearsing that song for months in rehearsals, and that note never came to me. Never. As in, like, I was singing it a totally different way. And then I was downstairs, the boys were upstairs, so they can see me and I can see them. And this note just came out of nowhere. And I just remember I started jumping around like a child. I was just so excited. And now
we were sitting and John,
and
when it came out, John wheeled around and he said, lads. And the two of us started laughing.
Yeah.
And then Jenny came up and she was like, was it good? And we were like, was it what? Let us play it back for you.
I wasn't expecting that note either.
That's interesting.
That just came out of nowhere, and that's where I've been singing it. But it's still the note that I'm very nervous of, though, at live gigs now. Because it is such a hard note to hit that it's always one I'll turn around to Barry and go, oh, just please God, let it come out. Because if it cracks on that, that's...
Yeah, and is there, with These Scars, is there a team in that?
No, not
EP?
really. That's not really a team, I suppose. There's a lot of the writing in that EP is coming from a dark place, like.
Yes, fair enough.
No, you can see that in things like which I have experienced that. Like,
I would say more of a hurtful place.
Right, okay.
Than dark.
Yeah.
Because he's not dark.
No,
he's not dark.
No.
Far
he's
from it.
Absolutely not. More hurtful than life experience.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff,
it's often the best songs are because of that. Like, and if you can channel them emotions and put them onto lyrics, it's incredible.
But some songs I've wrote there's no team behind it. Like
that's
just,
fair enough.
It just sounds good together.
Sounds good, yeah.
Do you know?
But then there's other ones, and he'll usually show them to our mother first, and Mama texts me going, Jesus Christ, did you see this? What the hell?
But I'd seen any song, I'd seen them on to Scott.
To Scott.
Scott does.
Yeah.
Myself and Scott does all the writing.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
I thought that was a super lyric, and that's why we went with for the because you're always wondering. It's like, okay, what are you going to call the EP? And okay, it might be named after one of the songs, but I thought that was such a powerful lyric. And reading the lyric, that something can damage you, but it can't stop you.
Yes.
So you see it and you remember the trauma, but you said, I beat that and I moved on.
Yes.
So, they won't define me.
Yeah, very good.
I thought it was just super strong.
Yeah.
And that's, Darren knows that kind of triggers me. If I get a good lyric, I'm like, where's the guitar?
Yeah.
I feel a riff coming on. Otherwise, I'm just sitting there, I'm sitting there.
I know the song's not half bad when I sing this song to Scott and he said, yeah, I'm working on that straight away.
Brilliant. Very good. Very good. And what about again? How would I pronounce it? Julia?
Yeah,
Julia.
Julia. So she's from Rome, and she's a friend of Valentina, who was the singer in Reverend Green Goes to Jail. So I'm friends with Val, and Juliana did some fabulous artwork for Reverend Green Goes to Jail. She's just really talented again.
Okay.
You give her a theme or something, and she gets it straight away.
Yeah.
When she came back with that image, I had this rough image, this idea of people. Initially, it was going to be a couple or something sitting on the bed, kind of black and white. But she just took it to another place altogether. This idea, you can't, the guy's reaching where he can't quite reach the scar, but he knows it's there.
Yeah.
He's kind of being branded, but he lives on, or this kind of an idea. And we liked it, didn't we?
Yeah. Really good. Yeah, it was really good. And like that, there wasn't too much back and forth again. It just everything that we kind of just seemed to walk straight away. Like, there was no messing around or anything like that. Like,
yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the same with even how we got together. We were really saying that coming up in the car. That we've been the same since day one. Since we've got the whole band together.
Just clicked like.
And like even in rehearsals when we rehearse together, like it's just laughing.
Yeah, just cracking.
We're all just laughing.
Like, that's
and
so rare, lads. You know what I mean?
We're all
it's
great friends.
It's good.
And
we have a good thing going.
We do,
We
do.
Okay. So was rock always the genre you gravitated towards?
Oh, absolutely. Since I was 12.
Yeah. And you
Metallica.
Yeah. Okay.
Metallica would have been the biggest influence in music.
Okay. Wasn't the Seattle grunge scene or anything
No.
like that?
Yeah, Alice in Chains, and all that.
Yeah.
Jam but like the other side of it is Cannibal Corpse and Sepultura and all them rooms filled with posters like that. Yeah.
Because it's not really aggressive, that music.
No.
That you're playing.
No.
And Jen, what about you? You had your Slayer t-shirt, obviously.
We were talking about this on the way up. I listened to all the stuff he listened to because I was always trying to want him to do the things he was doing. So I listened to that. But on the other hand, I was telling him this on the way up. I said, "Can I say this, or it's going to sound terrible?" But like, I did rob posters.
Jesus Christ, that's the worst thing you could do.
All right, if he was pissing me off, I'd scribble on him.
Richie, if we had an argument, I'd leave the room and I'd come back to be poster gun off the wall. I'd lose my reason. She got poster gun again.
The big metal hammer ones.
And I'd have them spaced out perfectly in the room like it did. Sister come in and rob us.
And we used to spar with each other.
Go on, Jen, what were you saying?
I loved Mariah Carey. I know that's not rock at all or anything close to it.
Can we edit this?
No, you can't. See, we spoke about this on the way up. But I will say what it did for me vocally was that what I didn't realise at the time, from the time I was 10, I suppose I used to try and not mimic her voice, but I learned how to do vocal runs without ever. I've never had a singing lesson.
Right.
I've never had a singing lesson.
Right.
I don't know if people have asked me to teach them. I don't know how. When I open my mouth, I don't know how I do it. I just know that I grew up listening to Mariah, and I listened to her the way she'd use her voice, and I try and mimic it. And then when I got to like 16, 17, I realised I could put a bit of grit into it that she didn't.
Yes,
do.
Of course.
And then I.
So what we listened to then, Fleetwood Mac or something like that, or was it heavier again?
It was Skunk and Nancy.
Oh,
that's where I went.
Yeah,
and once
I was only listening to her the other day.
What a voice!
Yeah,
it's amazing how they just disappeared, didn't it?
Once I discovered her, then that was it. I was really
of course,
hooked on that type of a vocal then. And then as I got older, I suppose I know she's newer now, but Hailstorm.
Of course,
but
Lizzie.
Is oh my god.
Yeah.
Like absolutely incredible.
All makes sense there.
Yeah.
And what about you, Scott?
Well, Metallica would definitely be my band. And
okay,
when I started playing guitar, Metallica and Thin Lizzy would have been two big bands.
Yeah.
And then got into the grunge, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, big influence. And then to kind of Audio Slave with Chris Cornell, those kind of Tom Morello, big swinging riffs would have been a big influence.
Yeah.
And other stuff that you mightn't hear in our music, then I love Rory Gallagher, I love Queen, I love Jimi Hendrix, and then things like kind of Americana, like Tom Petty.
Yes.
That kind of stuff, and the singer-songwriter kind of
great
little
example.
bit of that.
He never gets name checked much, actually.
Yeah,
Tom Petty.
which is a
Fucking
shame
really
because
good.
for me, he's the
Yeah.
great American songwriter,
Brilliant.
and he could drop the hammer in rock and match any of them as well, or strip it all back.
I remember seeing him in the Marquee. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's one of my regrets is not going to Tom Petty at the Marquee. Why?
Here's a curveball, and I'll say it to you, Jen. Do you think the crowd reacts different with a woman fronting a band?
Not in the heavy metal scene.
Yeah.
In the cover scene, yes.
Oh, go on, pray tell.
Totally. Just different. I just think in the cover scene, I love both, by the way. I love doing both.
Yeah.
But I suppose I'd come home every weekend from a cover gig, and there's always someone in the crowd that's giving me shit.
Right.
Always. Okay. And sadly, it's always a female. Yeah, there's always someone that will, and if they don't like it, that's fine, but they always feel the need to tell me. And I suppose drink is involved and whatever. But I have never experienced that in the original scene from a woman, be they a performer or someone in the crowd.
Brilliant.
I see the women in front of me just
supporting
supporting me as a woman in music,
Yeah.
and that to me is better than singing on stage.
Yeah.
I love it. I see them looking at me and they'll praise me. I'm not looking for that, by the way,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah,
lovely as a woman to see other women supporting me that way.
Brilliant.
But I get that in the original scene.
Yeah, and you know, and a band we name checked Terrace as well.
Yeah.
They opened the Siege, and it was absolutely heartwarming for me to see a full crowd in front of them, and they were like the best band ever. Yeah. Because all the teenagers were in, you see. You know what I mean? And so they were looking up to Hunter. What a great front woman as well.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
And she's haunting vocals, like.
Haunting vocals, like. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
So, that's brilliant.
I hope we get to work with them, actually. We were talking about it above and in the pit. We were saying we'll go up to them.
Yeah,
we'd have no problem. So just let them know that we'll do that.
Okay, cool.
That's no problem.
So
we're free that day.
Belfast, here we come.
How bad. What a scene, lads. Fantastic scene up there. Can't praise it enough. The wildest and weirdest thing that's happened to you at a gig?
We played a gig one time where something had been stolen and the police came in, and the singer didn't realise that the microphone was turned on, and he said, "Boys, it's the law." And the law looked at us and we looked at the law, and I had nothing to do with it, but it was very awkward for a long time. We would start the song, and then the drummer finally started the song, and the law went about their business. But that was a bit weird. Does that count? It's funny more than weird.
Yeah.
4 seconds can be a long time.
Anything there?
I suppose years ago, in Nancy Spain's was going.
Oh, class.
When Nancy Spain's was going, I think it was Obituary was playing there.
I was at it.
But I was actually too young to go in.
Okay.
And
the boys were outside, like you would have met them outside.
Yeah. But we come on, leave us in. So there was someone on the door, like, and next thing they just said to lads, because we weren't going away, like, please come on, just let us go in, like, for a few minutes even, like, you know. Yeah. And your man felt sorry for us, like, and he says, lads, I'll let you in, but stay at the back. Right. Just don't go anywhere. Yeah. Some minute we went got in the door, so they saw these two small fellas coming in the door. So we were hossed up into the air. Hossed up into the air, living the best life, right, up in the crowd. And the man said to us afterwards, he said, "You're some cunt," he said. I said, the beggar walked off.
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ.
I think it was Obituary.
1992, I'm going to say.
I think it was Obituary. Could have been sooner than that, Richie.
Yeah. No, that was, I'd say.
I remember we went up with the buddy, like, and his mem dropped us up.
Imagine.
And but the minute they saw these two small fellas coming in, by the hosts up into the air.
Jen, anything strange or bizarre? Probably in cover.
Oh God, it was in a cover band, and it was in the Old Oak in Cork, and I stupidly wore leather pants on stage. I've never worn one since because of this story.
Okay.
And I'd say halfway into the gig, I'd been drinking a lot of water and I really had to go, but I wasn't the only singer. There was somebody else singing. So I was like, can you do a song for like 2 seconds? Now, I didn't know at the time that if you take down your leather pants, that they're not going back up.
Oh, fuck it, really?
No.
Okay, all right.
Everybody seemed to know this from Friends, but I have never, I've never watched Friends. I've never seen it, but everybody always mocked me after for that scene.
Classic.
But they would not go back up. So I was in the toilet struggling, heard the song coming to an end, they would not go up. And eventually they did, but they split at the back. So some girl, some lovely girl, I don't know who she was, gave me a cardigan to put around me, and I carried on like that. So yeah, I've had lots of wardrobe malfunctions. I've split my pants. I've lost a bra on stage, fell right off down in front of everyone. I've had loads of things. And they never happen except on stage. There's too many to mention. Move on.
Yes, okay.
Quickly.
Whole episode.
Quickly, they're the clean ones.
Jen's weird gig experiences.
Edit.
Yeah.
And have you got a pre-show ritual for you? Do you do vocal warm-ups before? No,
Nope.
Just straight on.
I would just always mind my voice. So I drink lots and lots of water.
Okay.
I don't smoke. I don't shout at my children ever.
Yeah.
Like I have a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old, and it's a very relaxed house. Do I want to kill them sometimes? Absolutely, but I kill them softly.
Yes.
Because I don't want to ever overstrain my voice. So, yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah.
Water.
That's interesting. Then in a studio environment, then you don't want to blow out your voice too fast either. You know, when you were saying that high note there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
to be
feel like if you even before a gig, like I'm gigging now this weekend, and like even if I sing along at home, softly, not belting, that is the best warm up for me that I can get.
But even when we were in the studio, we box a bit clever. We kind of wouldn't start with a song that's the kind of upper range. You know, even though a lot of the songs are upper range, but we wouldn't start with a belt up, you know, kind of say we'll give her a bit of a break here.
I know. Like sometimes when they come at me with a song and I'm like, lads, Jesus Christ. Like really? Do you know? So yeah.
So like you were on about the creative side, collaboration there, it's mainly just 2 or 3 of you.
Oh, I think the whole band. A lot of the songs start with a lyric idea that Darren might have. Okay. And he pings it on to me, and oftentimes he'll send a riff as well along with that. Right. And I'll take a look at that and I'll add some riffs to it, and sometimes the odd time I'll write a lyric and send it to Darren, and we'll collaborate and we'll get the riffs. And we usually bring some kind of a thing to the
idea.
lads.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And then you know, by the time Jenny, Barry and Mike, the lads are incredible. Yeah. Like, so
actually,
it becomes a totally different song.
Where do you
in
write?
We have the rooms.
Oh, right, you have a studio.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Great setup, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Vital for the scene.
Yeah, it's great.
Vital.
Yeah, Jesus. And, you know, if you could go mad with an instrument, Jen, that you'd love to bring into the sound of Shadows Calling, what would it be?
If I could play an instrument I'd like to play, is it?
Or in general?
Drums is where, like I play piano.
Okay.
But I started drums when I was about 17 and I played for a little while, and I just wish I had kept that up. You
know that the singer of Down is a drummer.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Like she can sing, like, you know what I mean? She's not the main singer, but she can sing, you know.
I would have loved to have done drums
that's pretty
properly.
Cool.
But like I play classical piano.
Right.
So it's totally the opposite of what we're doing. But
and you haven't set up a keyboard on the side?
No.
Imagine that in Fred's, like an extra fucking keyboard.
You'd have to play it downstairs.
I know, but I'm only kind of getting back into that as an adult. Like I played as a child and just didn't want to stick at it because reading and stuff was just, I found it was too hard. But I went back as an adult and learned it then. Yeah.
Also, you know, we'll just have a bit of fun with this stage get up, you know, what you wear on stage. You know, for the first few gigs, did any of you kind of go, fuck, what am I going to wear here? Am I just going to show up as is, like,
this is what I
was so much thought, you know?
Shots and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You dress like this every day.
I dress every day.
Yeah. I would dress this way.
I kind of dress that way on stage as well.
So there's no kind of perceived kind of notion of kind of going, should we look stylized or whatever? Yeah. No, I just thought I'd throw it out there just for a bit of fun.
We don't have a dress code.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to wear it.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet, yeah.
But like, I think the last In the Pit gig that we did, I wore heels and they look fabulous. Every girl will tell you that. Heels are awesome with any outfit, but they are not fucking comfortable.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, I couldn't enjoy myself at all.
Okay.
So
How many songs did they last?
One song, I think. And I just said to the crowd, I'm really sorry, I'm so sorry about these fucking things. And I caught them and they were gone. And then I got into it. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So heels are a no-no.
Yeah. You're giving out some great advice there, Jen, you know, for any future female stars.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if a young girl wanted to start their own band but kind of felt maybe intimidated or just stressed over it, like, would you give her any advice or what would you say to her?
Well, learn to be resilient and
okay.
not to take on board what people tell you. Do what you are doing. If you know the path you are going, go that way.
Yeah.
Don't mind what people tell you left or right.
Yeah.
You know yourself.
Yeah.
I knew what was in me vocally. Like, and even though I sing covers and I do a range of different stuff.
Right.
The vocal I do with Shadows Calling is the voice.
That's your voice.
That's my voice.
Yes. Okay.
It's
very
not a cover
good.
voice. That's my voice.
Yeah.
And like, even when the lads do a song for me and they send me something, like I'll do my version of what I want it to sound like then, won't I?
Yeah, that's really exciting. It's like, we'll send this now with us humming some kind of a thing that resembles a vocal. As I like to call it, sketching it out.
Yeah.
I read that on the back of a Miles Davis record one time. I was like, I sketch it out. And then Jenny comes back with this amazing thing. We're like, that's why she's paid the big money. So, and that's nice. That's an exciting time then, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
When you hear it and you go like, brilliant.
We'd have the idea, next thing it just fawns into
and then
something.
Michael come with a bass line and bring the groove, and then Barry.
He's the coolest man on a bass player I've ever seen in my life.
And that's what makes collaboration.
Yes.
If you're writing everything, if that's your thing, okay, but it's really cool when you're collaborating because you know you start off with one thing and then you end up with something that is
like
just
Ships
exciting.
was totally different.
Oh, totally, yeah.
That's anthemic. Really, that song.
That
I
was
love
totally
that song.
different. Before that got onto the EP like that, you wouldn't even have recognised the song.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And then we were there one day, and of course,
Chocolate
me
change,
being the
like.
gobby one, I was like, "There's something wrong with that. I don't like it."
And I think it was Barry actually said it first. He said there's something that's sitting right with it, like there's something that's sitting right with it, like.
Okay.
And
Barry and Jen had said there was something.
There's something that's strange, but I don't know. I can't think, was it the riff we changed or?
I can't think of this.
Was it singing wise or I can't
it was
even remember.
Definitely the singing as well.
I do remember Bear saying like that there's something that sitting right with this song, like
Jesus, and it fulfilled its potential big
time.
It did, it's brilliant. It's a real great live. You know, have you seen people singing it back to you? Like, there you go. That's the ultimate praise, isn't it? In that class, yeah,
that's unbelievable.
So, just winding it down, because as I said at the start of the interview, you've been very quiet. What's
we have
the store?
We have a gig coming up in Fred's on the 17th of May.
Okay.
With curfew.
Right.
With curfew. Outside of that, we don't have another gig booked in after that.
Is this deliberate now? Where are you? Are you
in Fred's?
No. I'm not about kind of creatively.
We're working on an EP as it is, like.
And I'd like to do a video. I would love to be able to do a video sometime.
The end of the summer, I'd say.
So we have the songs written. So
we
we need to get into the studio.
Okay, fair enough.
We need to have a look at the calendar and find out when the holiday time is, and then find out when we're all in the then go in and do it.
Are you going using John again? Yeah. Good. Why not? If it's not broken,
don't fix it.
Me and Darren live just outside of Mitchelstown, and there's Mitchelstown Caves.
Yes.
They do gigs there.
Okay.
I think that would be awesome.
Cause of rock slide, lads.
For a video or something.
What a way to go. Full rock and roll.
I'd like to do that. Yeah, that'd be class.
That's class. So 4 or 5 songs, or what are you working roughly?
Yeah, 4 songs.
Four songs again, okay.
Yeah.
Great stuff. And have you played those live? Have you tested them?
Some of them,
we have 1 or 2 done live,
Dead Long Enough has been done. That's in the set list. We've played that live. We've played The Other Side of Me as well. So we need 2 more. And they just tweak them a little bit and then get
them early there.
Do you find it better to practice them, in front of a live audience, just to kind of check what crowd reactions?
Not really. It's brilliant. You do get the reaction. You see, like, does this go down well, like,
Yeah. So
it seems like most of the songs we play kind of go down with, like, but you'd always have the 1 or 2 songs.
Of course.
They'd be saying, Christ, like, that was good,
Yeah.
But But I even find now I'm writing songs. Well, I think I'm writing songs a bit better now, even lyrically, like, compared to
Yeah,
Spirit Shifter. But
I think they're all awesome.
yeah. I just think that myself, like.
Yeah.
That I'm writing a bit better.
I like a song we have called Wasted Hate.
Yeah. And that's what originally.
I love that.
That's what originally we were going to be called Wasted Hate.
Oh, okay.
Wasted Hate, and none of us really.
We kind of called it that for a while, and even our group chat for a while on the phone.
It wouldn't suit you.
I didn't want the word hate. We didn't want the word hate as part
even
of
wasted.
Yeah, it just didn't sit with us then.
So how the Shadows Calling come?
I was actually. There's no story with it really, like. Okay. Because I was actually watching YouTube, and I was watching Corn, the song Corn, Freak on a Leash.
Oh yeah.
And at the start of that, depicting shadows and running through the prison yard, like, I just said shadows. I was like, Jesus, shadows. So I was like, shadows. I put every name in with shadows to try and come up with something, you know. And next thing I said shadows calling, and that's just stuck, like. And I put it up in the group chat.
We all liked it
and I said shadows calling, and that was it, just stuck, like.
Yeah. Stuck. And did Colin do the logo then for you, or who did?
No, I did the logo myself.
Did you really?
Yeah. I did the logo myself. I came up with the logo myself. Colin just did the offer for the t-shirts. Yeah.
Wow. So ideally, then, so this is May. It's just literally the start of May, and what would you like to see yourselves, gig-wise? Like, kind of maybe a Siege, maybe a gig in Belfast as well.
Yeah,
definitely. Belfast would be nice to do a gig in Belfast. Yeah, it'd be nice to do a gig in Belfast. All right, yeah, definitely, yeah.
I mean, like you have a huge following in Cork, and you know you're building that steadily. So, I'd like to see in Keno or Dal.
Oh, we're definitely going to try for a gig in Keno.
Yeah, definitely, fantastic.
We want to try and get a gig with Powers to Toss.
Yeah.
Oh man,
we're going to try and get a gig with the lads.
That'd be a great night.
That'd be awesome.
Really.
Yeah.
And the lads are made for us as well. They want to do it as well. So I'm going to try and get Keno at some stage, if we can. At some stage, but
fantastic venue.
That'll be definitely
Okay, so
on the cards.
So where can people find your music and connect with you? You're on Bandcamp.
On Bandcamp, Facebook, great. Instagram.
Okay, grand.
The usual spots.
Who's the victim that's running the social media?
I do all that.
I have to hold my hands up and say I'm not great at social media. I try to stay away.
Soul destroying.
Jen, you've done enough. You've done enough anyway.
I'm not allowed
like
near
even,
it.
that's the thing. Like even with my own, I don't have Instagram. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Snapchat. I just about have Facebook.
Has to be done though.
Yeah,
and
I know
even it does have to be done, but he's great at it.
Yeah, great.
So we let him do that.
Respect, man.
Yeah,
Respect,
it's great.
So that's it, lads. You know, thanks for coming to the studio. It's great to see you. And can't wait to see you live again, and looking forward to your next release.
Cheers.
Thanks.
So you can listen to Darren, Jen and Scott of Shadows Calling. Cheers,
Thank
lads.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Rich.
Cool.